There's a reason why we keep coming back to Dexter Morgan. The morally complex antihero, portrayed with chilling charm by Michael C. Hall, has always blurred the lines of justice and horror. But amid the highs of the Showtime original series' early seasons and a divisive finale that turned the former Bay Harbor butcher into a sad lumberjack, Dexter has had more than one shot at a final chapter. In 2021, Dexter, New Blood tried to course-correct with a more explicit finality, and it almost worked, the operative word being almost. Instead, everything felt too neat and rushed for a story that was never meant to end with a tidy little bow. Enter Dexter, Resurrection, a revival that doesn't pretend its past didn't happen. Across its first 4 episodes made available for review, this new 10-episode chapter doubles down on all the threads Dexter initially pulled at while residing in Iron Lake. But amid some very bloody moments that left the door slightly open for more, this new series has only smeared its past horrors into something messy, more reflective, and sometimes a little moving. Set just weeks after the explosive end of New Blood, this new chapter revives not only Dexter, but the show's core identity. Everything we love from the original is here in small doses, and though the first 2 episodes take their time establishing things, it's clear Dexter, Resurrection has earned its second chance thanks to stronger writing and striking performances. What is Dexter, Resurrection about? After surviving a gunshot wound in the New Blood finale at the hands of his son, Harrison, Jack Alcott, Dexter awakens from a 10-week coma with more than just scar tissue. He is haunted by his sins and some very literal ghosts of his past, while his teenager has gone missing. Deciding he needs to find him to set things right, Dexter's search, with the help of a manifested conscience in the shape of his father, Harry Morgan, James Remar, leads him to New York City, where we learn predators are around every other corner. While he is searching for the only existing family member he genuinely loves, New York has its own monster dubbed the Dark Passenger, who's racking up victims and using Dexter's old terminology like it's trademark-free. Less than thrilled about the brand theft, Dexter's instincts lead him to investigate, which guides him straight into the world of Leon Prater, Peter Dinklage, a twisted billionaire with a morbid fascination for serial killers and a mansion full of murderabilia. With the help of his head of security, Charlie, Uma Thurman, Prater is seemingly curating a collection of killers, though we're not quite sure of his motives yet. Whether Dexter's infiltrating this strange White Lotus-style slasher society or becoming a target himself, one thing's clear. Things get messy fast when he meets the club members, including the likes of Kristen Ritter as Lady Vengeance, Neil Patrick Harris as a tattoo-obsessed trophy hunter, Eric Stonestreet as the Rapunzel killer, and David Dastmalchian as the unervingly calm Gemini killer. Meanwhile, Harrison is starting over as a bellhop at the Empire Hotel. On the surface, he's rebuilding and trying to get through the day. But we soon notice signs of his dark inheritance and a generational grief that begins to bubble up in subtle, and sometimes not so subtle, ways. From menial tasks that border on compulsively methodical to putting someone's fate in his own hands, Harrison's trajectory echoes much of his father's. But the question we ask ourselves isn't whether he's his father's son, but rather, how long can he resist becoming him? Things heat up when Angel Batista, David Zayas, fresh off the heels of his return in New Blood, re-enters the picture and has a reunion with Dexter. With a presence that is both nostalgic and deeply foreboding, the former Miami PD detective already has his suspicions about his friend thanks to a tip from Angela Bishop, Julia Jones. Naturally, Dexter tries to play the part of the reformed man, but there are too many holes, and Angel isn't letting go just yet. Dexter, Resurrection, finds its footing by rewriting the rules. One of the biggest surprises in Resurrection is just how much tighter the writing feels this time around. 8 seasons and 1 revival later, one of the most noticeable changes is in its approach to these characters, especially Dexter. Under returning showrunner Clyde Phillips, the series balances macabre with emotional complexity more effectively than New Blood could. The slow burn of the first 2 episodes might test some viewers' patience, even with some exciting plot points. But it pays off because this isn't a story rushing to resurrect a franchise. It's reconstructing it from the inside out. Dexter, in many ways, has grown up, and a near-death experience does something to him. This is not to say he is not the same anymore, but he's a lot more tempered with his feelings. There are no more clunky monologues or overly telegraphed twists. Instead, we're treated to some sharp dialogue and clever irony that lays the foundation for what a revival needed to look like in the first place. Harrison's interactions at the hotel, where he's working alongside a single mother named Elsa, Emilia Suarez, mirror Dexter's bond with Rita, Julie Benz, from the original series. With this kind of past pain building identity, the writing leans into the psychology of inherited trauma. Is Harrison recreating his father's path, or trying to rewrite it? The show doesn't answer outright, at least not yet. But it's that quiet restraint which makes it resonate. Even Dexter's internal conversations with his late father feel more real. He's not a young man anymore, and the exchanges touch on aging, trying to do the right thing, and the love between father and son. Of course, there's still that sardonic edge we came to love in its initial run, especially when Dexter gets mad about the dark passenger stealing his moniker. But these moments of dark comedy and acerbic wit don't undercut the tension. In so many ways, it sharpens the series and elevates who Dexter is or has the potential to be. Likewise, the writing integrates villains a lot more in line with the grandeur of their environment and what that playground can produce. Without spoiling any fun, Resurrection embraces the modern cult of true crime and surveillance paranoia in some really smart, chilling ways that make the series excitingly twisty. These killers he meets are not just monsters of the week, but reflections of our current obsession. Timely and darkly self-aware in a way that positions our antihero as a vessel for commentary on our attraction to violence. Dexter is no longer just the Bay Harbor butcher. Michael C. Hall anchors Dexter, Resurrection's excellent cast. After two endings that left fans feeling slightly disheartened that their favorite antihero was not getting the satisfying conclusion he deserved, Dexter, Resurrection is reinvigorating the charm we came to love when the series first premiered in 2006. With a few guest stars and cameos that will light up every fan, the show takes a bit to rev up its engine. But when it does, it's gripping, stylish, and well-paced, a thematically rich return to form. It's not just more Dexter, it's better Dexter. The writing is sharper, the characters are much more layered, and the moral dilemmas hit harder than ever. Sure, there's still room to grow, but for now, Dexter, Resurrection is the gripping and fun revival of a story we thought was finished. Turns out, darkness never dies. It just gets smarter.